part of the game, and you got to next man up's got to step up, and we just got to start again tomorrow and get going. But the injuries are part of the game.
What did you see that kind of made you feel that you could have success potentially with that double pass that kind of there late in the game?
Well, we set it up before through our previous 3 games where we flip it out there and we get a few yards and they block, and that's a play we worked on all week, and wanted to try to get a quick score there and get the ball back, and thought that call would work. Obviously, would have sat on it had I known in retrospect, obviously. But thought they'd bite there, had the ball on the left hash and where we needed it to be and playing with tempo, and thought at the time that was a good call. Obviously it wasn't.
What were they doing defensively to prevent you guys from getting those big chunk plays?
They play good coverage. 1, they cover well, and 2, they did a nice job mixing in their coverages to where at times they gave us run boxes, numbers, and had to take advantage of those, and we had to stay patient. We had to move the chains, and they did a nice job executing. We didn't execute as well. He did a good job calling it. I didn't call it as well. Those combinations, are ingredients for what happened today. And you got to tip their hat. They played a very good ball game. They're a very good defense, and so they did a nice job, and we've got to do a better job.
When the opponent milks the clock and is dominating the time of possession, how does that change the way plays are called?
Yeah, it's a hell of a question, because you want rhythm and you want to go, and you want to at the same time keep your defense off the field as much as you possibly can. But our identity has been tempo, and so we continue to try to go fast at times. And when you're not moving the ball as well, that becomes a factor. That's a heck of a thing. So we've got to make sure that we convert third downs, and that we stay on the field, and that we wear them out. And need to get back to that.
With as quick as you guys are moving, is that trick play something that you almost call on the fly, or is that something that you've gone into the series thinking about, like, hey, we're going to use this?
We always go into each series with a list of thoughts, and make sure that our guys have the heads up and that sort of thing. And we had not run a trick up to that time, and thought that would be the appropriate time to do that.
When people talk about time of possession, keeping the defense on the field, the offense gets to, as your defense is getting tired, the offense is sitting on the sideline. Do you think it's more important for a defense to be energized and have, have the stamina up than the offense? What do you think?
I think they're both equally important. Defenses tend to substitute more than offenses, but I guess it depends on the number of plays that you're talking about. It depends on who's on the field and what you're asking them to do. A lot of things factor in, but I think they're equally both important. To answer your question the best I can.
Mike, was there a reason that Justice got the brunt of the carries? Justice had 25 and JD had 1. Was there a reason that
he's our best back, and anytime he's ready to go, we're gonna call his number. And if there's a point in time where he needs a break, we give him a break. But it's just a matter of him being a very experienced guy and a guy we can depend on.
Were you surprised, because you did have numbers matchups, and a lot of times when you ran the ball, were you surprised that you weren't able to get it going better?
I could sit here and say yes to that question. When you look at it, obviously, that seems to be the case. However, I have to look at the film and see exactly what was going on. I can't sit here. I don't think it's very fair to anybody, any member of our team, to sit here and try to grade a certain aspect without having watched the film. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear at all, but it's the fairest I can be right now. Obviously, none of it was good enough, right? When you look at the big picture, none of it was good enough. So to sit here and nitpick one aspect of it isn't really fair to anyone.
With those injuries on the line, how important is this week to get those two guys as many reps as possible this week to get them some more experience? Obviously not game experience, but
yes, sir.
Just some experience with the ones.
Yeah, all the reps are important, and being able to prepare and getting those guys squared away is very important. And but they'll step up, they'll compete, they understand the importance, and they'll be ready to go.
What are some positives that you guys can take away from this game?
Well, I don't know how many positives there are. The sun will come up tomorrow. I do know that. But there's obvious room for improvement. We're going to look at ourselves and see what they exploited from our weaknesses and try to minimize those. It's a good time to, obviously, anytime you play, self-evaluate, self-scout yourself. But I think if there's anything positive is that there's going to be growth, there will be improvement, and that's any time you face adversity in life. I think that's got to be the same way and the same approach.
Ball security hasn't really been an issue for Mason this year, but what's the approach this week with him, with the mistakes and interceptions and fumbles as well?
The importance of securing a football is vital. He knows that. We've got to drill it better. I take full responsibility, so I got to make sure it's drilled more. We got to make sure that he gets all the looks that the defense could possibly bring, which is sometimes tough because there's only so many reps to go around, and so many variations of coverage. So to get the ball out quicker and to secure it better, I got to do a better job coaching.